What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Flannel panel. We got a few guys here, a few people more. A few people might chime in a few minutes, and we're here to talk about some spring fever, which Troy brought up this topic. But where is Troy? He's missing.
Yeah. Is
Yeah.
it because it's 420 and he's just late stuff, man?
That's true,
Spring fever.
dude.
Yeah. No. I have allergies. That's why my eyes are like this.
Yeah. And then
I'm just happy I'm not the one that's late this time.
Well, you book
I'm
it home
always
from work, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, well, most of the time.
Yeah. So
The other times I'm just stupid and wait till the last second and then always forget something.
Yeah, it's all good. Jason has a fancy new mic, though. It sounds great.
I'm trying.
Yeah, and a boom. Even
I know the boom. Only reason is I got shamed last week because I knew that I had to, and it wasn't on purpose. You guys, but
you were shamed for your lack of boom.
Well, we were at the pre-show.
Sounds like a POD song or something.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall. Grease got on and said, "There's a noise. I can't. Where's it coming from?" Oh, so we did the troubleshooting, and it was me.
They eliminated people one at a time until they figured out that it was you.
And then so the rest of the time, it was like it's like when someone tells your fly's open. You know, it's just the embarrassment's out there. Even
well,
though
I think it
was helpful.
Microphone noise is slightly less embarrassing than being on the internet with your fly open. I mean, we're gonna rank them.
Well,
you got to.
If we want viewers, though, Jason, you got to do.
Oh yeah, this is true.
Yeah.
Hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to ring the bell.
Exactly. Ring something.
So anyway.
No, you sound good. And
I actually
being 420, since it's the Flannel panel, let's jump off the hop and talk about this. Did anybody use the 420 code? Did anybody know about it?
I got the email from Dixon and I was like, ooh, I should do that. And then I was like, oh, should I do that? Yeah. And then I looked. So there was a sweatshirt that I almost bought, and I don't have a Dixon sweatshirt, and I almost bought one a couple days ago, and then I didn't. And then of course I log on today, and I'm like, hey, and then there's a code, and this size no longer existed. So it's like, oh, you snooze, you lose, man.
I bought one of those for my boy for Christmas, and they are really, really they're as well made.
Did you? Are they issuing everyone in Canada the Wayne Gretzky flannel, Ian? Or no? Do you have to buy it
for my complimentary shirt? That and the Happy Gilmore one. Truth be said, 13 and Gilmore. I was like, is this Doug Gilmore from the Toronto Maple Leafs? Like, did they make a flannel for him? And it's a blue and white, like Toronto Maple Leaf ish, but it was the Happy Gilmore. I was like,
I was hoping for David Gilmour from Pink Floyd. Like that also would have been fine. The Happy Gilmore one was like, so that was interesting. I didn't realize that Happy Gilmore wore a flannel in the movie. Like it took me a minute to be it's only on the cover of the whole film.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. Which one was?
So the Wayne Gretzky one, of course, it's Oilers colors, right?
It's nice. Yeah. So I had that in my cart today. The problem is you need $150 for free shipping up here. And I had like $2 left. So it's either buy another shirt for free shipping or pay like $20-$30 for shipping. So I'm like, man, do I need the Oilers one that bad? But I kind of do, and I don't know. We'll see.
Just add a hat, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I didn't even see the Gilmore one. Was that
so they could have done? They could have done multiple Gretzkys, right? Like they could have done because what you would have had the LA Kings, right?
Oh, that would have been
New York Rangers.
Rangers want that. Bring on the Rangers one. Like that's full America. That's going to be all red, white, and blue.
That would be.
I'm a Devils fan. I cannot condone that in any way.
I'd wear a
morally opposed
Rangers one. Let's go for that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'd buy it.
Mark Messier was the shiz. The shiz. Love that. Yeah. So my brother was a New Jersey Devils fan, Jason. That's why I cheered for the Rangers, just to piss him off. I got into hockey only to piss him off. Like, how bad is that? He was like, so he was a Martin Brodeur guy, right? So when New Jersey was really good in the 90s. So I just started cheering for the Rangers just to make him angry. It was either them or I was going to cheer for the Canucks because they were pretty good at the same time. They had Pavel Bure. And I've watched like no hockey since. Right,
you just like Full House. That's
I was in until like 96, and then I'm like, and now I'm out.
Well, I loved that year of the Devils hockey when they were good and big. Just Matt Stevens and the physicality that they played, I just loved. And Claude Lemieux and those days where they just destroyed people that came on the ice.
Yeah, they're
Now,
like the New York Knicks of the NHL.
They kind of were, and it was so much fun. My favorite, as a matter of fact, remember that show Pros versus Joes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They did a Pros versus Joes, and Claude Lemieux was on the show. And somebody challenged him on the ice. He destroyed the guy. I mean, just beat the hell out. Not just beat him in hockey. It was unabashedly destroyed this poor guy, and it was kind of fun to watch.
They need to do. We need to do Pros versus Joes for whiskey live on the internet.
Now
we'll get people that don't drink whiskey, and then get them to try to
up against the Ohio boys.
Reactions. Yeah.
I like it. Troy, Dave, and JJ taking on the rest of the world.
Yeah, they would be the pros. That is for sure.
That's for sure. Yeah, they can definitely handle it. That'd be fun.
So did you buy any stuff with the 420 code or not?
No, I didn't. It's still going, right? So
sure. It's still 420. You can blaze away, bud. You're fine.
Yeah, blaze away. Perfect.
I'm at a disadvantage. I didn't even see the Happy Gilmore one.
Oh, Jason's buying something tonight for sure.
Yeah, he's buying something.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have is your credit card on file with them? That's a problem because then it's way too fast to check
Apple
out.
Pay. It's even worse. Double click.
Yeah, I use the shop app. The shop app is literally one button, and it just
same thing. The problem.
3 days later, I have. Matter of fact, I just bought the green braid. I didn't wear the green braid today because I knew Troy bought it, and I wanted.
I finished at
the
420.
Green Bay Glory.
Of course it did.
So, what feature?
Well, Andrew, they probably figured everyone was too high after 420 to finish their checkout, so there's just been too much stuff stuck in their cart.
That's exactly my cart right now.
Stuck on the cart, stuck in the couch. It's fine.
Oh, we got a Ohio boy here. Dave Gilmore's in the house.
Oh, he went to. Somebody's supposed to type in.
Yeah, he's waiting for the rest.
Yeah, the IO. Right? Am I right?
I would think so.
Like we don't cheer Ohio stuff in Kansas, so I don't know if I'm correct or not, but it feels right.
Speaking of, is it Kansas? You went on a college trip.
I did on Monday,
and some of the merchandise was on fire.
Oh also. Yeah, so we went to Wichita State, and they are the Shockers, the Wheat Shockers originally, and then they're like now, and then it was like the Woo Shock is the mascot. It's a stalk of wheat, but that's a human form, so it's. I don't know. It's weird. It's like if the Incredible Hulk was made out of wheat, which is funny. But so they throw up the hand sign though, like But they put the thumb out, I guess. So it's a W, right? But you can't say like shock the world and then throw that one up, which is what it says. It said shock them. That's what it said. It said shock them, and it had the hands on the shirt in the student union bookstore. I'm like, well, that's aggressive. It's a college visit. Don't let mom Google that. Like, holy shit. So it was, I'm for it. It was right next to the Nike gear that was left over from March Madness that said all in, and I'm like, you can't put those two T-shirts together. Like that's so wildly inappropriate. Like, what are you doing?
It's perfect.
So
I stopped to take a picture, and my oldest son, Cody, he's just like, "Oh, damn it, Dad." I'm like, I can't help it. I'm a child. I can't help it. I too am a teenage boy.
You enrolled, didn't you?
I should have. I like just for the merch.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you showed great restraint, just not buying everything that had that on there. I would have had 2 foam fingers.
Yeah, the foam hand was like the T-shirt was funny. The foam hand was a little much. But listen, I hope he goes there now just for the merchandise. That's right, Eric.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Completely.
I'm gonna have all my whiskey buddies coming to go to games, like to come visit in Kansas just so they can buy Shocker gear.
Do they have online courses? Be an alumni?
Sure.
Like a random online course just to be a Shocker?
Yeah. They're stuff that I think that's targeted more for moms say fear the wheat, which is not actually very scary, but fear the wheat. I'm like, well, yeah, wheat is scary.
Well, you could You could have an alumni shirt that says "I got shocked."
Yeah. Yeah.
Or you could hand them out to the losers and the
shocking the nation since 1860 something, right?
Hoopy's in the house.
That's right.
Or online or in a house, maybe.
Hoop's got to watch out. Like his son is the same age as my son, and my kid is now going to try to get Hoopy's kid to go to WSU. So that's he's ready. I think maybe for the merch. Maybe it's just for the merch. Actually, it's an aeronautics school, right? So it means that my son is obviously significantly smarter than me if he's going to attempt to be an aerospace engineer. Like, I went to radio school in college, which was basically majoring in getting drunk in Aggieville. That was what I majored in, and then telling stories about it afterwards. So it was a waste of $40,000.
Yeah, aerospace engineer sounds awesome though.
Yeah, it does.
I only knew Wichita State. I knew they had a big baseball team. You'd see them all the time in the College World Series.
Yep,
playing Texas and.
Yeah, it was fun. So College Visit is weird because it's just so much different now than it was when I was in school. So I was reminded on the College Visit that I went to college in the late 1900s, which seemed aggressive. So as opposed to now. So yeah, it's a whole different thing, man. It's just
that sounds funny. The late 1900s.
Yeah, that's what they're using. That's the term they're using. It's crazy.
Yeah, the late 1900s.
I haven't.
I didn't. Yeah, I was a little later than that.
A little later, yeah.
Like three years later.
Hey, that's fine. So yeah, it was really cool, but it's just there's so much stuff. It was like a college campus at this point is practically the inside of a spaceship compared to when I went to college. We had to walk across campus to get to the computer lab to check our email. I mean, it was.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was a slightly different times.
Yeah.
I used that the other day when when I was in Desert Storm. We were in Saudi Arabia because I was talking to some soldier friends of mine. I was asking them how they communicate. They're fine. They talk to their wife and kids every night on the laptop. I remember when we were there, we were stuck out in the middle of the desert. You had to drive for 2 hours to a phone center, which was a giant tent with a bunch of plywood stalls and just old AT&T telephones that you had to dial. And it was like jail. You got like 20 minutes. So you drive an hour and a half to get 20 minutes to talk to your wife and then get off and drive 20 minutes more. So
I will say that when they first got cell phones in Kansas, it was a similar experience to get cell signal, although no one was shooting at us, but it was fairly similar.
Yeah. When my son was born, I got off guard duty and I had a stick-em note on my bunk that said, "Congrats, it's a boy." And 3 days later, I was able to call and find out he's doing okay.
Wow.
Actually, I take that back. The next day, there was a whole bunch of shortwave radio fanatics that basically connected the world back then, and they were all volunteers. So I was able to go up to the communications tent and do shortwave radio to contact my wife in the hospital.
Wow.
It was pretty crazy.
So did you learn Morse code during the Civil War or no?
Far off. You're not far off. Anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of improper communication, PSA, do not broadcast and shop. Because I did just buy the Gilmore flannel.
In your face.
But I was trying to do it subvertly. So I used the shop app. Well, the last thing I bought was the whiskey blends from Whiskey Weekend.
Yeah.
And I have to ship them to Wyoming. So I just shipped my Dixon to
Wyoming.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Just pick it up when you pick up the whiskey.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. That's not a bad drive.
I was excited because when I first put the order in, it came to my house. I was like, I don't have to drive. 3 days later, they were all canceled and I had to go back and reapply. So luckily they were still had. What was that? I actually found out because the barrel pick we did with It's Bourbon Night, the Peerless Rye, was released. So I was able to buy a bottle. I was going to buy several, but they were $90 a piece. So I got a bottle that I'm proud of. But
sweet.
Anyway.
Is it, and that's through the same website, isn't it? Like
Oh yeah, They go through the cork and barrel or that one.
Something.
Keg and bottle.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll be able to pick up some whiskey and a Gilmore flannel.
There you go.
Could be worse.
Yep. Sounds like a party in the parking lot right as soon as you pick it up.
Oh, that's the best part. It's funny because I've sent pictures to Grease and them. It's like redneck heaven. When I get off at the off ramp that I go pick it up, there is a liquor store, a Taco Bell / KFC, and then a gigantic fireworks shop, all on the same corner block. So you can get everything you need for a party and then just drive home.
Well, if there was also a porno shop, you would have described the entire drive on I-70 in Missouri.
There actually is one on the other side, under the underpass.
See?
So you guys are still back in the 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, with the arcade. Not that I've been in, it's announced that there's an arcade, which I don't really want to see what kind of games you're playing.
That is a trap. Don't. You'll ruin your flannel if you sit down in there.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Don't. Yeah, fireworks shop, no problem. Like, good. Just avoid the. Can you hear that? There's like so many. Like someone is like either jumping up and down or stomping.
Not at all.
In the house upstairs. Okay, that's good.
Not at all.
It's like they were coming through the ceiling.
No, I just hear a little whistle from Jason's mic.
Oh,
I'm completely kidding. I'm completely kidding.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I mean,
how to freak
complex.
Jason. I know. You sound good, dude. All right, so spring fever. Troy threw this topic out and he is MIA. But spring fever, what does that mean exactly?
I think it's just all the pent up energy from all the crap you can't do in the wintertime.
Is that it?
Yeah. Like springtime is like baseball and cookouts and, you know, the first time you fire up the fire pit and all that kind of stuff with your peeps. Yeah. Like that's springtime. And it's also in Kansas, it's allergies and they burn the fields around here. So it's also, it's all of that too.
Yeah.
In Utah, it's a big migration because there's so many outdoor activities here, you know, and we're within a couple hours from pretty much any, you know, any kind of environment you want, you know, from high mountains all the way to desert and the whole nine. So it's pretty kind of special here in Utah because you can actually ski in the morning and golf in the afternoon if you want to. Just by, you know, and then everybody migrates. Everybody migrates to Moab. You see, you know, all the rock crawlers and this, and then there's also, we have our own sand dunes. So that's the big migration, especially Easter. You should see the roads in Easter. There's so many just off-road vehicles and the traffic jam to get in and out of the state is crazy.
So what do you get excited about when you see spring coming or possibly coming? This past week up here, I think Jason, you had it too, was a crazy snowstorm.
We're getting snow on Saturday.
Yeah. Thursday, I drove into the college. Everything was great. About 5:30 hits and there's 2 inches of snow on the car. And what's going on? It's terrible. It's almost late April.
Yep. That's so you flipped open a knife. I thought that was a lighter. And I was like,
oh, sorry.
Shit. Newman's getting after it. Kansas is the same way. So we make the joke that there's like 5 springs. It's because you have spring and then it goes back to winter and then you have second spring and then it's winter again and then third spring. So it just back and forth and back and forth. It's the same thing. Last week it was 90 and there was a freeze warning in the same week. So it's like, it's stupid. Just stupid.
Yeah, I feel like everybody gets sick too.
Yes, it's allergies and all that other good stuff.
Yeah, fast heat than cold snaps and plus with COVID rampant, it's just everywhere right now.
Yeah.
Andrew West, well, you live in, I don't know, way up there. So he got a foot of snow Monday into Tuesday. Northern BC, no thank you.
Is that past the Arctic Circle or no?
Yeah, you got to wait till like what, mid-July for your spring?
Yeah, that's up there in the permafrost. Is it still 24 hours of daylight up there? Or
Yeah. You get 2 days of spring, 1 day of summer, 2 days of fall, and the rest is winter.
And the rest is winter. Yeah. Yikes. Yeah, Andrew's living real life up there. He has to kill what he eats.
Yeah, full survivalist mode. Yeah.
Speaking of spring, I guess it's a good time to talk about Ty's event from Delta, Colorado called the Taste of Spring, which kind of kicked off ours, which was a lot of fun. We went up there, got an Airbnb, spent a couple days hanging out, and it was just a fun event. They had a VIP dinner on Friday where they just basically fed us, and it was great. It's for his youth charity. And then Saturday was
Young Life, isn't it?
Young Life, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's to support Young Life. And then the Saturday is a community event where they bring in, you buy a ticket, and they have all sorts of restaurants and distilleries. It was pretty amazing for such a small town. There was 6 or 7 distilleries and breweries, and I think the breweries and distilleries easily outnumbered the restaurants. And one of those, there were some great ones. But my favorite was actually Ty told me to go in. I'll admit, Ty says, hit this guy up first. He's got some really awesome merch he's giving away. So make sure you get one of his hats. So I went over there, and it was Copper Sky. It's out of Longmont. And right now, it's a blending house right now. They're putting their, typical craft, but they're doing a lot of blending. So, but I got to talk to him, and I went to all of them, and they were all very nice. They were great. They're informative, but this guy, when he just started talking whiskey, like us, like when you talk to somebody about what they love to do and their just eyes light up, and he's our people. So it was the same thing. And it was almost like that, Step Brothers, like, did we just become best friends? And we did. I mean, by the end of the night, I did my lap, and then I stayed there for 20 minutes, and then I only left to make B runs to the burrito place, and then came back. So I pretty much all I did.
Have priorities, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
So I went from Copper Sky to the burritos, which were great. These green chili burritos. Anyway, but and the reason I was saying that was because they actually sponsored, as part of the Taste of Spring, they sponsor some barrel picks. Cool. So one of them was from the 477 Distilling Company. They were great. They're based out of Greeley, and this is their. I have to look. This is the wheated mash bill bourbon. I think it's. No, I'm not going to waste it but it was really good. But then the other one was this Copper Sky, which is 95 rye. You know where that comes from. So it's a 4-year 95 rye.
Cool
pick. So we got some of those, and they're really kind of clever. This is Ticket to Rye, and then the wheat is
Shock the Nation.
Yeah, that would be. Oh, we got to do a barrel pick with Shock the Nation.
That's
so anyway.
That'd be good.
And on top of that, so when we were leaving, we just gabbing and having a good time, and towards the end of the thing, he invited us. They're doing a big distillery opening. They have a big, like a tourist center that has 2 bars and a speakeasy. Like, you guys got to come up in May. And so on the way out, he's like, where's your bag? So I had a bag. He threw a bottle of his wheated whiskey in there. And then he threw this really cool 3D printed barrel that's actually a Glencairn holder.
That's cool.
You just drop it right in. So he just threw those in, and it was cool. Anyway, so that was the height of the. That's
awesome. Did you drive up to Ty, or did you fly?
Yeah, we drive. It's only in the West. I'm sure it's the same way in Canada. You just measure by hours, and it's only 4 hours, like a little under 4-hour drive. So
that's not bad.
I actually had to work on Sunday night. So
actually, in Canada, they measure with the metric system. Jason, it's different.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Oh, we still have hours.
Yeah, what is hours in Canadian?
Yeah, what's the conversion rate from American to Canadian hours and seconds? Is it the same or no?
Well, based on the dollar, it's really bad. No.
Oh,
you're not wrong. Is the conversion rate for minutes? Do you get less time in a day, or?
Yeah, just the darkness, right, Andrew? Yeah. No, That's a pretty good drive though. That's fun. I like road trips.
It's great. We actually go visit. They have another that whole little Delta area. They have a road called the $1 Million Highway, and they call it that way because it's some of the most scenic views in the world. So you get a lot of people, get a lot of photographers make their money out there.
Oh, cool.
And it's just but it's just small towns. And there's another one called Palisade that has like 19 wineries in the one city. And there's a meadery, a hard cider place. It's just everywhere you go it's just a fun place. So we go out there and Grand Junction, they actually have liquor stores that serve whiskey. So cool. I can actually buy stuff other than here in Utah. So anyway. Yeah, it's a good place to go.
So that was your spring kickoff then?
That was my spring kickoff, which was probably my more of a winter retirement because of all the traveling I've done the last 2 months or last month and a half. I pretty much burned all my time off, so I actually have to go to work for the next couple of weeks.
Bummer.
Or month. I know I have to actually work my own shifts for a whole month and a half.
So, what's the next thing? Is it going to be Wamego in
Boomtown?
July?
We're looking.
Yeah.
I put. So that's the other thing. Our paid time off is it's pretty much you can take off any time you want, except for holidays because they're so hard to fill. So I actually have to find someone that'll work for me, which is terrible because I work in the secured unit. I work with one person. I literally know no one in the jail.
Oh, wow.
So I actually sent out hey, Tommy
D.
So I sent out an advert. I actually offered to paid someone an extra $100 to take my shift. So I'm sure somebody will bite.
Well, that works.
And I think Nat found a Airbnb in Manhattan.
Yep, that's not far, and it would be worth every bit of that $100.
Oh, and did you see? Here's cheers to the mask mandate being lifted for airplanes.
Oh, also, yeah. What earlier
happened? So we don't have to wear that. Hey,
Breeze is here.
So does that mean that you can actually buy a beer again on Southwest?
I don't know.
No, that was how you got away without wearing a mask. You just kept drinking beers the whole time.
Beers, or then you either that or you get like peanuts or popcorn and you eat them a little bit at a time. So they
just put some in your mouth the whole time.
Some of the
inappropriate.
Some of the larger Salt Lake was one too. One of the larger airports that have lifted the ban as well. You can kind of
in their defense, that airport in Salt Lake is so effing big that you're not within 6 feet of anybody ever because you have to have like hiking boots or a Segway to get across that sumbitch because it is huge.
If you don't fly Delta in Salt Lake, may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah, it's a waste.
It's literally. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say you're probably walking a mile and a half.
Jason, when he came to pick me up when I landed at the airport and I flew American, he was like, well, I'll leave the house now and it'll take me about 20 minutes to get to the airport. And it's going to take you that long to get from your terminal to where you actually leave the airport. And I was like, whatever. Absolutely correct. 100% correct.
We got Casey here.
Hey,
Casey.
It's good to see you, man.
Casey with the flash sale Dixon.
Did you buy anything, Casey?
Yeah.
Yeah. They surprised they didn't like lean into that with like some sort of 420 flannel. Like that would have.
Didn't they have one
or a bamboo?
Though?
They did.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it basically was. It was.
It
like
was not good though.
It was a Rasta looking number.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam. That's okay.
Yeah, that it was Kush or someone, I think.
Mm-hmm. Can I tell you that those
allegedly
bastards, just when I start to be able to cut the strings from Dixon, they go off and they introduce the long sleeve bamboos.
Yeah,
like I bought one of their short sleeve bamboos, but I look like a ship's sail when I wear short sleeve shirts. so hey, Aaron.
Aaron's here.
It's fine.
So I wore it. It just looks bad. So that's usually why you don't wear a lot of.
Just get a bunch of tattoos. Stuff. It's like wearing long sleeves all the time.
Oh, do you know how much it would cost me to freaking tattoo this thing?
Listen, you really like full size
Hey, buddy.
artwork. It'll be great. It will be great.
Exactly. That's a canvas.
So, since it's 420, do you want me to tell a fantastic ganj story?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. So, in college, we had a big blowout festival. Also, springtime, right? So it was just after spring break, so it matches this spring theme. And the headliner was Tone Loc.
Oh,
So like Wild Thing / Funky Cold Medina, right? And I got to go pick up Tone Loc from the airport. We barely made it back to Manhattan from Kansas City because when you opened the hatch of the van that we picked them up in, the 12-passenger van, it looked like a Cheech and Chong movie. Like it was like you could barely see. I had to like burn the clothes that I was in. it was something. So yeah, and Rob Bass also played that show. Like It Takes Two, which is the only Rob Bass song, right? Like, quick, name another Rob Bass song. Okay, great. So the DJ who was playing in between acts, also like the Posies played, and like Frog Pond, Ultimate Fake Book, and like it was a thing, right? So but right before Rob Bass, the DJ starts playing It Takes Two, like, which is a terrible thing to do. It's like the only song, right? That's going to be his closing number. And a very large, very angry member of Rob Bass's security team came roaring around the corner, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch someone die!" Right? Like, the DJ who's spinning records is about to get pounded into a greasy spot in front of all of these people right here, right now. So yeah, that was good. Tone Loc. I'm pretty sure his mic was live, but he was only, filling in the gaps in between songs. So the turntables were not hooked up. It was all a backing track tape. And that dude was smoked. And I mean smoked when he came out on stage, to the point where I was like, I don't know if this guy's going to make it up the ramp to get on stage. So yeah, it was a time. I'm glad I did not have to take them back to the airport, because I wouldn't have made it. Yay, college.
Yeah.
There you go. Beat that one.
We can't. That's why you wanted.
I got nothing. Yeah.
You are the designated interesting person in this whole group.
Well, listen. Get lucky every once in a while, I suppose. Amen.
Yep.
Actually, that's more like words to live by, I think.
Yes. I would agree with that. I met Charlie Sheen once in Los Angeles, but he was pretty sober. He was on his way to an AA meeting. We were having a cookout.
Is that pre breakdown or post breakdown?
Pre. So this would have been like 1998. Yeah. So right. So when I was out
the flute
in Los Angeles doing my internship, I did an internship with Century Media Records in Santa Monica. And we went on Fridays. We'd have a little cookout out in the front yard and have a beverage or two. You couldn't get back anywhere anyway because traffic is a biatch. So you might as well just chill out on a Friday. So we would do that. And there was a church a block down, but there was a convenience store across the street, and Charlie Sheen walks past, and he was on his way to an AA meeting at the little church. And we're like, "Hey, Charlie, come on over, have a beer." And he's like, "That's why I have to go over here." Like, I would, but that's why I have to go over here. So yeah, that was a minute.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, it was a good time too. Yeah, that was a.
So I'm interested about this question because I think of all people, you would have the best answers. Who would you consider your greatest brush with celebrity? Who's the greatest celebrity you've run into, or met, or whatever? The greatest in your eyes?
Like the most famous person?
Yeah, or the most important to you? Yeah, who, the one that
James Hetfield from Metallica.
I would do
it.
That's that was pretty high up there.
Mic drop worthy.
Yeah, it's pretty high up there. He's like a custom car guy. So I met him outside of a not in a band scenario. It was a car scenario. So he runs with a crew like the Beatniks at Coolsville. So so that was cool, super cool for me. And he probably appreciated not chatting about Metallica necessarily, but yeah, that freaked me out because he's super cool. I got to interview Ric Flair once.
Oh, that'd be cool.
On the morning show, my co-host sprung that one on me and didn't tell me that that's who I was interviewing. I was just told that I was interviewing somebody from the WWE, and it was Ric Flair, 16-time wheeling, dealing, kiss stealing, jet flying, son of a bitch. And yeah, I didn't know. And Ric Flair's like my favorite, so I like geeked out. I was just talking to him about, yeah, exactly. Woo, wrestling Ricky Steamboat and winning the 1992 Royal Rumble and all this stuff. And Sean is just like glazed over, like, what the hell? I can't believe I turned this nerd loose on Ric Flair. So, yeah, we chatted up for probably a good 20 minutes. And then at some point, like the guy so they have limited time, right? There's always like a handler that's on the line that will cut off the interview and also be a guy who's like, hey, by the way, we're out of time. And please plug the show that you're supposed to be talking about, as opposed to all these random questions that have nothing to. Oh, and by the way, don't forget to buy your tickets to go see him at Kemper Arena coming up this Friday. So
that's funny.
Yeah.
How about you, Ian? What's your biggest brush with celebrity?
I wouldn't know to remember.
Yeah. You're that cool.
No, I would say the opposite. It's nothing memorable.
Go ahead.
Yeah, nothing that.
I'd say for me, I actually met Bo Jackson in line at a Castles and Coasters. It's a little kind of amusement park putt golf place in Arizona, and it was during spring training. And he was actually there with his kids. And him and his kids were waiting in line for a ride. And first, I walked up and I just looked at this a gigantic gentleman in front of me. Then he turns around. I'm like, that's Bo Jackson. Absolutely.
That's great.
So I turned around and I think that's the trick is I didn't talk anything baseball. I just introduced myself, and then we started talking about our kids and the coasters. And before you know it, I talked for like 20 minutes in line. Great guy, like a gigantic guy. I mean, his hands completely enveloped my little meat hook, but he was cool as hell. I think that's probably the greatest one to me.
Yeah, I have to renege on that. I did talk to Tommy D in the elevator at Whiskey Weekend.
Famous. Famous.
Tommy D is pretty famous, I'd say.
So Andrew West was on a plane with two Batmen at the same time. Batmen. How does that work? Batman, probably, right?
You can't say that about Minnie Pearl. She's an American icon.
Minnie Pearl was a biatch? What is happening in the chat right now?
I love it.
Andrew West on a plane with Adam West and Michael Keaton.
Were they on it together, or was it just totally coincidental? Like the universe came together?
Please tell me you walked past
so
him
curious.
Pow. Pow, zing. I thought Michael Keaton was great as Batman.
For sure.
That's true. Who was your least favorite Batman? Let's stir up some.
Oh,
Val Kilmer, easy.
I was going to go George Clooney.
I'm tossed up between the two.
George Clooney should have been a cool Batman. He had a terrible script.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
Coincidental.
Yeah. I like Val Kilmer though. Iceman. Like yeah.
Yeah, like real genius.
He was bad.
Cool. It was like that era of Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like yeah, exactly, Tommy.
Which is the best one then?
The best Batman?
Yeah.
So I have a soft spot for the Michael Keaton movie.
I think
when it came out, like it was really cool. Like that was really cool. That movie was really cool. But it's probably Christian Bale.
For what it was, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a fan. I just thought Bale overacted. He just.
Oh, really? It was the voice.
That's a staple of all Batman films ever.
True. But for what it is, I mean, I'm with you with Michael Keaton because I mean, you can't really compare the movies as blockbuster versus kind of a tongue-in-cheek comic. I don't know, but individual, I'd still say, I'll say something crazy now. I actually think Pattinson was better than.
I was just gonna ask that. I haven't seen it yet, so
I thought he was really good. I think he was definitely better than Christian Bale.
If you like your Batman kind of emo,
yeah,
he was definitely emo.
It looks emo.
It's mega emo.
Mega
and
emo.
That movie is so effing long, Ian.
Holy
It's true. It's
crap.
True.
Okay. It's like 3 hours long, 2 hours and 50 minutes, and then you had previews. Holy hell! And they cut out a scene with the Joker and the Riddler. It was like 5 minutes long. And they dropped that on YouTube. I was like, why did we cut that out? Like, that was the 5 minutes we decided we needed to save after 2 hours and 55 minutes. Like, what the hell?
Well, we got another one here, Affleck.
I'm with you, man. I agree.
Ben
I don't think he was a
again, bad scripts, bad movies.
Yeah, I liked him as Batman a lot.
And he already had that kind of stigma of.
I don't
know what it is about Affleck that everybody loves to hate.
He said, "I hate J-Lo's gigolo." That's your other half. What the hell?
Oh, she absolutely hates Ben Affleck. Like red hot passion.
Yeah.
Like because of Good Will Hunting or what?
Just I don't know. You'd have to ask her. It's something in her psychology because she won't even go see a movie if he's in it.
Really?
I don't think she went and saw. She didn't see Justice League with me.
Tommy D, if you just started watching the new one tonight, it won't be finished until freaking tomorrow.
Yeah. I liked it though. I didn't think it was nearly as I did like it. I mean,
you can't have a 3-hour movie, man. Like that's
I'm with you.
Stupid because then people do all the crap in the theater. Haven't we talked about this? People do all the stuff in the theater that I hate because then they get up and move around. And they got to go pee and they get up in their damn seats and they refill their popcorn and their sodas. And I'm like, hey, it's not your house. Damn it. Sit down, shut up and watch a movie.
I did that crazy. I did that this week, actually. Nat, we went and saw the new Fantastic Beasts, the Harry Potter thing. Yeah. It was a great show. The problem is I'd been at work all day, and then we went that's another movie that's really long. So after sitting around all day at work, come back and then sitting even in the lounge chair, I could not sit still. I could not get comfortable. I was just sick of sitting, and I had to get up and do everything that you said you hate. Went to the bathroom. Anyway, but it was a great show. Other than that,
I'm angry, Jason, and then I can't handle things, and I get distracted easily. So people start moving around, and then I focus on them, and I can't focus on the damn movie.
I'm with you.
Then you kick him out of the room.
I don't like being that guy too.
Then I start yelling at people, and then it just goes right off the rails. And
I'm the type. Yeah, I try to make as little fuss as possiul.
Yeah,
I will say this:
if you've ever told someone to sit down in a movie theater, raise your hand. Hey, all right.
Oh, I got to tell you, this is my favorite. This is one of my favorite.
What am I supposed to say? It's like,
it may be funnier to me, but I'm going to tell it anyway. So it's when Godzilla, the first one, came out, and everybody knows I'm a gigantic Godzilla fan. And I actually went by myself because Nat was working. So we went, and it just so happened there was like some kind of corporate party that bought out half the theater, and I bought a ticket. I always sit on the left side on the aisle, and I bought a ticket. I'm going up to find my spot, and I get to my spot, and there's a lady right next to me, and I said something like, I bought 2 tickets. Because I always buy 2 because I need a buffer space. And I sat down, and she was in the seat that I had bought. And I said, you can sit there. I don't mind. And she looks up to me real indignant and goes, and I go to sit down. She says, I have a husband, and points to the chair. And I go, well, I have a ticket. So this is my chair. And so I sat down and made her and her husband get up and relocate.
Yes.
But I was like, I probably would have moved if she was nice, but she was really just, I have a husband. Like I'm hitting on her. Like, yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Mine was during the movie. It was not before the movie. It was during the movie.
Yeah. I can exactly see how you would tell somebody to.
Yeah. So the people that were in front of me were like trying to decide whether or not they wanted to refill their popcorn. Right. So the dude kind of stands up. But then as he didn't like figure out what the hell they needed to do before he stood up, he stands up and then he's like, does anybody else need some popcorn? And then like they didn't answer him right away. And he goes, do you want more popcorn? And I say, you want to sit down? Yeah. So
yeah, that's how I played it. That's how I played it in my head.
yeah, it was met with a swift elbow from the date sitting next to me, who currently lives upstairs. So she's still fine, but yeah, that was
Absolutely.
yeah. She's like, don't start anything in the movie theater. I'm like, that's the perfect place to start something.
I'll tell you what,
For sure.
I'm excited this week. Have you seen the trailer for the new movie called The Northman?
Yeah, it looks good.
It looks cool. See, this is also springtime stuff. It's like the lead in
movie. Yeah.
summer. Like all the cool movies are coming out. That damn Top Gun movie that we've been waiting 2 freaking years for is supposed to come out.
Yeah, I know I talked about it a few weeks ago, but Top Gun trailers flying around and behind the scenes stuff. I can't wait for that. But the Northman looks really good too.
I'm telling you, and it stirs in.
Is it about Andrew West?
It's pretty close. It's straight up, and they said it's a Viking revenge movie. And the guy, it's the same director that did The Witch. I don't know if some really great horror movies. They're really dark, but they're amazing. And he took as much actual lore as he could. He did so much research for the show. So it's even in the fighting styles and everything. It's going to be the closest that we know of like Viking tactics and strategies and law and everything.
Yeah.
So, and it's
that Alex Skarsgård or whatever.
Yes,
Alex Skarsgård. I like him. He's a good.
Yeah.
Is that the dude that was in True Blood?
Yeah.
Yes, the big guy. He's playing and you see him all. He berserkered up, tearing through the villages in the Red Band trailer, and I will be going to see it.
So he's like me in the movie theater when people making noise with
Absolutely.
Exactly. Got it. Okay, good. I think I'm in.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah!
I'm stoked for a few things coming out. Obi-Wan's coming out in this next little bit, next couple months anyway. I'm a huge Obi-Wan fan. And then that book that I was telling you guys about, the Jack Carr, The Terminalist book that I've been reading or listening to on audiobook. It just I guess it got picked up on Amazon Prime, and Chris Pratt's the main character. So that's coming out July 1st, and I'm stoked to watch that. A couple new things that I'm looking forward to. Well, throwing it back to spring, are any of you golf fans?
I like the fact that golf starts, has halftime, and ends at a bar.
Well, fair enough. Do you watch golf at all on TV?
No,
because springtime for me is the Masters, and the Masters just happened last weekend or the weekend before, and just the Jim Nance, the prestige of the Masters and everything, and watching it. And Tiger was out playing, exactly, with the birds chirping in the background. Apparently Tommy D is definitely in on the Masters. But yeah, that's like the start of spring. So up here, the Masters usually starts before golf is happening. Like everything's mud here right now. I'm not going golfing. Some people do, but it's not worth it. So that's like starting to kick into the springtime, and things are looking up because of that tournament. But yeah, and Scotty Scheffler was awesome. Like, it was a good tournament. So if you watch golf at all, definitely a thing to watch.
21st, Phil going low early.
Phil going low. Well, Phil wasn't there.
On the jump lap. Phil going low early.
That's funny. Yeah, Phil wasn't there this time. Big controversy in the golf world for that. But
listen, it's all rich guys competing with other rich guys for their cash. Like it's I do like playing in a good scramble golf tournament. Like 100%. I'm all for that. That's living life. We play one in the dark here, like a nighttime tournament with a glow in the dark golf ball, like with a LED light in it. That's living, because man, it doesn't matter if you got a little stumbly, like no one can see you. So it's real good.
That's funny. Yeah, that
the only scramble I like is on my breakfast plate.
Oh, that'll work too. So it's weird because I don't like golf because I think that it takes too long, but I will watch a NASCAR race, which is basically the redneck version of the same thing. So, I mean, there's crashes in NASCAR, which is a little bit more exciting. But
you could say there's crashes in the golf world too. Jordan Spieth on 12. If
somebody hits one in the water,
fan.
That's a crash. But I do like the Sunday activity of all of those as a dad. Like, you can properly turn it on, fall asleep partway through, wake up, watch the end, smoke 4 hours, and being like, no, I was still watching the race, or no, I was still watching the golf tournament. It was still on. It's fine.
Yeah, the
now we
Masters
have the
tournament,
USFL.
My wife usually hates that weekend because it's like, nope, Thursday morning it starts. If I'm working or whatever, I'll watch highlights and whatnot. Then Saturday and Sundays, it's pretty much on the whole time, and I'm doing stuff around it. But
that's the same way I am. Exact same way with the draft next week, the NFL draft.
Oh yeah.
I'm a geek about that. I'm the same way. And now it's 3 days long. So there she goes. She got it's on all the time on XM. It's even the.
Are you listening to like podcasts and stuff to get ready for the draft and all that madness?
I am.
Oh, he's hooked.
Same.
Yeah.
Mostly because it's just fun. It's I like it because it's a great way to review everybody's highlights, their best, everybody's.
It does, but the draft is hope, right? Like that's the beauty of the draft, where you're just like, oh, this is
the trades that go with it this year. This trades have been crazy.
Who fixes the team, right? We got a new dude, so we're good now.
And that's this coming weekend.
This week, the 28th. It's the weekend after this one.
Okay,
I think. Gotcha. I think it's about a week.
It starts next Thursday.
Next Thursday. So it's a week. It is a week from today. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Starts on Thursday.
Sweet.
Today feels like Saturday to me because I just got off work.
Well, the Wednesday after that, Jason's going to be all hopped up on football stuff. So it's definitely going to be a Flannel Panel football episode. Yeah. That'll be fun.
Flannel Panel football episode. I like it.
Sure. Yeah.
And I'm trying to learn baseball.
Are you?
Mostly because my boy talked me into a high-priced fantasy baseball league.
Oh.
So
no.
That's tough.
No, fantasy baseball is hard.
Yeah.
Difficult.
Lots of games and lots of players.
Too many players.
Lots of games and lots of players.
People get hurt. They games get canceled and postponed all the damn time because of rain. It's a biatch.
Last year was my first year, and I actually was in the finals. I won some runner-up money. So then
in the baseball pool?
Yeah. But the best part for that was to be honest, I really didn't follow it. I mean, I followed baseball like I normally did. I watch a couple games here. I'm a Brewers fan.
You were that guy in the game.
But the best part is
that was me in our football league. Exactly.
But I didn't know players, so I just went by numbers. So if I had to cut somebody, I thought I didn't know the names tied to it. Like even like when you're doing fantasy football, the ones that I know, it's like he's not performing. You should cut him, but come on, it's guy. You can't
with baseball. There's 547 million players.
Injuries and craziness and lineup. But
I love baseball. Going to watch baseball live is fantastic. Like so the opening weekend for the Royals is almost always cold because it's April in Kansas City. So I get excited once it gets to May because then it's actually finally nice weather to go to a baseball game. So I'll be pretty stoked. We got a couple K-State baseball games. College baseball is always fun too. But baseball in person is fantastic. Like there's little to me that's better because it's, grab a beverage or two with your buddies on the parking lot, and then a couple cold beers and hot dogs. And it checks a lot of boxes.
Yeah. In person, I like it.
We have a AAA ball club here. That's a lot of fun. The Bees. And I like those, especially I'll kind of stock like injury reports because it's an Angels farm team. So when you hear some of the Angels coming back for rehab stints, I'll sneak over.
If you want to get into a minor league team, get into the Savannah Bananas. They're from Georgia, and they do it's like an independent league thing, and they do crazy stunts. And I mean, so they set a record with the world's tallest pitcher, but it was actually a dude on stilts that was throwing. They had a guy come out with his bat was actually dunked in gas and lit on fire while he was hitting.
Do they play a game every year with the Shockers? And
they might as well. That would be great. Their merch is awesome. But get into the Savannah Bananas. It'll change your life in a good way.
It's funny you bring that up because I was actually looking on. I love minor league baseball names and logos, and so their
merch is always great too.
I'll buy a bunch of hats from places like what is it? The River City Trash Pandas.
Yes.
Nice.
and the Iron Pigs. I actually bought a couple. There's a team. Oh, what's it called?
That's right,
I
Eric.
don't remember where it's from, but I think it's the Birmingham Biscuits.
Yep.
Their mascot is a biscuit.
Yeah.
And their hat. So I bought,
I saw that recently.
So yeah, I have all sorts of craziness.
So maybe it's just the north of the border, but I'd say hockey on TV over football.
I love hockey. I'm a big fan. I have a hard time following it on TV.
Oh, really?
Just because for me, and it's changed too, the rules and everything. Well, in a life, most of the fun stuff is happening away from the puck. You're seeing jaw jacking and freaking blows thrown and elbows. That's all happening away from the puck. So
yeah,
nice.
Andrew's got an Augusta pimento cheese. So
That's
Augusta has their cheap cheese sandwiches, pimento cheese sandwiches.
Oh, that stuff's
That's
glorious.
part of the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love it. But my ADD. Yeah, if you have to follow that puck too much,
yeah,
I like it. I kind of
get
find
that.
watching like baseball.
I get that.
But the thing about hockey is you have to pay attention. It's like a movie with a twist. Because the second you turn away, somebody makes athletic move and does this crazy.
Yeah. So
kick to the goal.
I actually really like listening to on the radio. Hockey on the radio.
I can see that.
It's because it doesn't stop, right?
It's just constant, and the way it depends on the commentator, but if it's a good commentator, it's great. They get excited, you hear what's going on, you know the players somewhat, and it's good. But
so hockey, it's not the same, but as far as like the scoring thing that Jason's talking about, I love English Premier League soccer.
Yeah.
And it's very much like that. Like a lot of things happening. And the second you're not paying attention, you're like, oh, shit, someone scored. Like,
exactly.
You look away for 1 second. You're like, oh, it's a 1-0 game. And I missed the one. What the heck?
That's true.
And I'll tell you one. So I've always kind of been a casual fan of rugby of all things, but I never knew the rules.
Speaking of sports, that makes sense.
I had a partner I work with named Jay. He's from Fiji, and they're all about rugby. So for 3 months I was working with him. He just gave me homework. He taught me everything about rugby, and we watched it all the time and everything. And I'll tell you what, if I had to choose rugby or football to watch, I would take rugby every time.
What?
Rugby, once you understand the rules.
He's a Viking.
Once you understand the rules.
He's a Viking. He just likes
you.
people getting ripped to shreds. That's all it is.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Watch Australian rules.
I think that would cause a lot of.
They like eat their young.
Dude, watching the All Blacks against the Australia team, that stuff is brutal. And there's actually a Vegas tournament I really want to go to. They do the sevens here in Vegas. Matter
Is there
of fact,
not enough head trauma in American football? You have to watch.
I'm telling you, man, it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So I watch. Go ahead.
I have a neighbor up here. He's from Australia, and we were chatting the other day, and he's like, "Hey, I'm headed to Australia next week or whatever." And so yesterday I was chatting with him. He left today, and I was like, "Why are you going to visit family or whatever?" And his wife's like, "He's going for a bachelor party." I'm like, "That's quite the travel." He's like, "We're watching rugby and Australian football for 4 days straight. Like it's just one to the next to the next." I was like, sweet.
And they're gonna be blackout drunk.
Tuned right up. Yeah, exactly. That 2-day flight back is gonna be sleeping the whole time.
Woof.
I did find out here too, there's a lot of rugby clubs. They actually have a professional rugby club here. It's not the same, as World Cup, but because there's a very large Polynesian population in Utah. So you get a lot of these.
So weird, man.
It's just, I'm telling you, and the stadium's up the street. You guys should come out. It's one live game. It'll change your mind. I'm telling you, man.
Utah
it's awesome.
Is just so weird.
It is. I'm not. I can't back that up.
My wife played rugby in high school.
Oh, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's how she keeps you in line.
She's tough.
Apparently, what the heck, man? So Post Malone. Rugby, like you got like off-roading, you
can
got
block
snow and golf.
Yeah,
like what the heck?
Yeah, the
Why
Nitro
everybody
Circus has a headquarters here with a track that's always fun. There's all sorts of craziness.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's all hidden. That's the best part. Everybody thinks this is just a pin-up conservative state, which it is, most of it, but
Yeah.
I
if you
tried to
know
go
where to
on the
look,
art
there's some
exhibit.
craziness.
It
Yeah.
was
Oh, yeah,
good.
that was
Fairly
that was
liberal
great.
of us.
What's
Very
that?
artsy. Very artsy. When we were in
Yeah.
Salt Lake, I got Jason and Nat out to a Fancy Balls art exhibit that was like all made from reclaimed stuff. It was all
Yeah,
trash.
recycled stuff from around the city. It was fun.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
It
weird.
was liberally fun stuff.
In a
It was
good
weird,
way.
but
It
it
was
was
weird.
fun. Yeah, it was kind of.
If we would have been there on 420, it would have been cool as hell. Like it was already cool. It would have been like mega cool, man.
It was kind of a meth head version of Jim Henson.
Yeah. It was it was definitely a little methy Muppets. I give you that. That was probably a pretty good description. Little methy Muppets.
Yeah. But they have all there's such a liberal population to go again with the conservative population that you can really find anything here. And it's crazy because they actually just agree to disagree. There's not a whole lot of battles. I mean, you have a few, but for the most part, it's great. So you have all the great art and food and everything from the liberal side, and then you have a nice place to raise your family everywhere else.
Nice.
So
Corey, I have to commend you for your painting. If you haven't followed Corey on Instagram,
speaking of art, absolutely.
The painting is fantastic. He's done some great stuff and is doing awesome stuff with a little bit of whiskey mixed in. It looks so cool. So I've tried to
literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
I drink it and then I put it in the paint.
Yeah. So I'm like, man, I can't paint, but what could I do? So I grabbed, my dad had a bunch of tomahawk planks that he had cut out that were just like thick plate steel.
Mm-hmm.
So my dad was in a rough spot, not rough spot mentally, but he's been stuck at home for 2 years watching YouTube videos, and like he needs to have an outlet. So I was like, let's grab these blanks and finish one by Christmas. That's the goal, is to have it all completely done. So it's this plate steel. I left it in his design. Then I took it and I've kind of chopped it down and made it a bit more streamlined and whatever. But we're finishing these tomahawks. So I've been in the garage, like filing away and grinding down this stuff, awesome, trying to make a blade out of it, which has been super cool. And now I'm down this rabbit hole of like tempering steel and metallurgy and all this stuff. But definitely neat to be out in the garage. And
creativity
exactly
is like such a needed thing, man. So like that's the whole painting thing. It's like I just get it out. Like over the weekend, like what did I say? I was like, I painted something really pretty, but I was really angry.
Yeah.
I was mad, but I was painting with like very pretty colors. But throwing stuff around. So yeah, it just kind of gets it all out. So
yeah, it's been good, and he's stoked too. So it's been an awesome
good.
So I want to give you some props because some initiative or whatever that you've kind of put on that, which is
Garage
good.
Mojo will fix you right up, man.
Yeah.
And
all the props.
Yeah, so it's if you're not doing something it's different when you're in your garage and you're using it as a workshop because you have to fix your car, or using it as a workshop because you have to like you're remodeling your bathroom or whatever. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing, but man, when you get out in that space a little bit and you can just get it out, you don't have a time limit pressure or things like that, and just start to be creative. It just kind of all starts to flow out, and then stereo gets turned up and a beverage or two happens. It's a little safer for me. I'm painting. I'm not using tools that could hurt you.
Beverages away for a bit.
Yeah. I don't know that a little bit of whiskey and tomahawk crossovers are good.
It could be really good though. We'll see.
Yeah,
I love to get really drunk and sharpen knives.
Yeah. Only one end of this is sharp, right? Okay, we're fine. It'd be good.
For sure.
I only had one accident.
Yeah.
I want to at some point do an art show or something. So
that'd
be cool.
Do it. Yeah,
Dude, it amazes me. I mean, it shouldn't amaze me because everything you pick up is freaking great. And I'm not saying that, just like I said on the thing, everybody wants to tell you that you're doing a great job because you're doing something. They're professionally curated. I mean, just everything is in the right place. There's enough. I mean, it's just, mean, I would honestly, I would tell you this if they did suck, but these really are amazing. So I don't know how to get it across. I mean, I would be supportive, but these, I just, it really, the amount of professionalism. I mean, it's someone could work years and years for the same kind of spatial recognition and color palettes and the way everything composes. I mean, it's just the fact that you just picked this up a year ago is ridiculous.
It's pretty amazing.
I
The purple one and the black one you did are
the new one that was all black. Yeah, that was crazy. Or different shades of black.
Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, I got it framed up. It's crazy. That'll go to my brother. But
so sweet.
So it's so I know that people don't. This kind of like public speaking, right? After you get done, everybody's always like, "Oh, that was really good," because they don't want to say, "Ooh,
yeah,
ooh."
At least you finished.
Yeah. But the difference is that hey, baby. Yeah, I appreciate it, Jason. But people have started to ask to like buy stuff. So I mean, your friends don't. They'll tell you, hey, that's nice, but you know, people have started to try to.
Yeah, man, it's good stuff
now.
It's cool. Yeah, I like
pretty validating at that point.
And I would say, like, to everybody, like, try it. Like you just went on a whim and tried it, and not everybody has your artistic ability or you know, vision.
Yeah, I just turned graphic design into something that's actually tangible that allows you to do something that's. I mean, it's funny to say that on YouTube, but it allowed me to get away from a screen for a while every once in a while and just like you can vent online too. People are pretty damn good at it.
It's true.
But it's a lot more constructive for me to get it out in a tangible way.
Well, and healthy for you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Get out there and try it. Individual results might vary.
Yeah. Hey, worst case scenario, I tell people all the time, it's like you should try painting. Like if you hate it, you just paint over it and paint it again. Like there's really no. Yeah, there's some paintings that friends of mine have now at this point that I was like, oh yeah, you should have seen the bad one that's underneath there that I painted over.
Oh yeah,
so, it's fine.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and to go on that, I think Dustin Peed from the Barn Night Boys were talking about like just even a mental health episode that we should kind of do and chat about. And just have real
I know someone that would be a really good expert on that.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah, that's true. We're in presence of royalty with that.
Yeah, I'm sure that she probably got some pretty profound opinions on me saying, hey, I was angry, but I painted pretty.
No.
She's got files on us all.
Matt's going to give me her tedious notes. Okay, so listen.
Exactly. Yeah. No, but I think that'd be good. Just having a chat about, you know, real life stuff and what you're going through. And I know Dustin's gone through some stuff the past few years, and you know, he said he'd like to chat about that. So I think it'd be fun and real. I think real's key. So yeah, that's the goal. Well, fellas, anything else going on that you want to say or chat about?
No, I just want to shout out brother Eric Conklin. So he's
thank you.
Treatment. Michael Leach, who went with me the Whiskey Weekend Batch 4, he's had another round of cancer treatment. So I need my peeps healthy.
Yeah, man.
You know,
and
Todd
Jamie?
Nooch, another whiskey brother. He's healing up.
Yeah.
Jamie Coons recovering still from COVID. Although he's looking a million times better than he did. So yeah, it's, you know, what did I say the other day? I'm sick and tired of my friends being sick and tired, but everybody's trying to heal up a little bit.
Yeah,
man. Well, we're praying for them for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The Wamigo boys, I think, is the term in the prayers. So it's a blanket statement, but yeah, definitely.
I'll give Nate from Nate's Whiskey House. I saw him on his last couple episodes back. He was wearing a Team Conklin t-shirt.
Cool.
Cancer sucks. And I'm like, hey,
big ups
to Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge. Yeah.
What is that? We'll have to
Nate Waddell. I think it's Big Nate's Whiskey Lounge.
He was at Whiskey Weekend, I think, wasn't he?
Yeah. I regret I didn't get we just brushed by. I didn't get to talk to him much, but seems like a really cool guy.
Yeah, he's a couple hours. He's in Buffalo or something, or upstate New York, I think. So he's close to me, but yeah.
Oh yeah,
close, but yeah. Anyways,
that's
awesome. And he had the Team Conklin Cancer Sucks shirt on.
That was super cool.
Yeah. Good people in this community. I love it.
You can find the painting stuff on Instagram at CD_Reeves, and you can listen to me chat in the morning and play some country music at B1047.com.
With your actual picture on, right?
Dude, I'm telling
I
you.
don't know. If you listen on the tune in, it's not. If you listen, so we've tried to figure that out.
Yeah.
And we've submitted more than once for them to change it. It's kind of like Wikipedia, where you have to like submit stuff and then they change it whenever the hell they feel like it.
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's funny. I texted to the guys the other day. My last day of work was a rough one. I won't go into details, but it was rough. And so I just happened, when I'm there in the morning, I click on Corey's morning show, hear his voice doing some stuff, and it was funny. And then he immediately kicks on the song Fishing in the Dark by the Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, which actually has a lot of kind of meaning. It's just a fun song. It's a song that always picks me up, always has. And it's just crazy on how the second I turn it on, that's the song that's playing. And I think Corey knew somehow, but you get all the credit for it. But it actually lifted my entire morning up, just listening to that song and Corey introducing it. It was perfect. So thank you.
That's good. There's no bad mornings in radio, buddy. You gotta be happy every morning, whether you are.
Thank
or
you for your
not.
service.
Yeah, but it's good. And where is that again? It's K-Rock or no?
B1047.com.
Yeah, the country, right?
Yeah, the country station. Yep.
And it's great. Check it out for sure. Jason's at The World in My Glass.
Yes.
Follow that. Follow Flannel Panel Streams. Troy's been doing a great job. Getting stuff.
Maybe that's where he is. Maybe he's up there updating the
Tell
stream.
your friends.
Yeah. So like and subscribe if you like it. And until next time, stay buttoned up.
Yep. And like and subscribe even if you don't like it.
Exactly.
All right. Cheers all.